Hello, hello. Welcome to our marketing strategies, marketing and advertising strategies for you. I call this rising above the noise because it's true. There's so much out there, right? And how do you really show up and find your customers and have your customers find you? So I'm really excited to dig into this with you. So the past few weeks or modules, however you're watching these, binging these, we've really gone through and we're coming towards the end here of really the cycle of harvesting a really strong and thriving business through all these important components that we've gone through so far. And these next two modules are really digging into what I call the fertilizer and nutrients, if you will. It's your marketing and sales combination that truly propels the growth of your business. Your seed can't grow if you don't have these other things in place, but now that it's growing, maybe you've already opened your business or you're planning ahead and you know when you're going to open. The consistency in the systems and organization is important. The consistency to water, protect your mindset and your routine, the consistency to keep yourself enriched. All of those are really important. But now let's throw some fertilizer and nutrients on what you've planted and let's watch it grow. I am so excited. So today, this particular module is really digging into marketing and advertising. Now, some people feel they want to try this on their own, and there is certainly a lot to do. There's a lot of support out there for you to be able to do it on your own, but a lot of businesses will outsource, and that is great too. So there is a wealth of options available. I'm going to kind of cover the broader understanding of it so that you can hopefully make a decision of what's best for you. And I'm even going to show you some real live in the moment building some marketing and scheduling that. So what we're covering today is understanding just in general the concept of marketing and its relationship to sales and advertising, and then why you want to have a really strong agenda. And then I will want to show you how to use AI tools. And you're going to help me actually post something that needs to go live tomorrow in my social media strategy. So 3 ways to grow your business. We talk on this several slides. I appreciate Jay Amram sharing this with the world and putting it down, if you will, into something graspable. But it's so true. If you want to grow your business, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you're service-based, if you're a cafe, if restaurant, if you're retail, doesn't matter what business you have, there are only 3 ways that your business can grow. One is to get more customers coming to your business. Now, for those of you who are service-based, maybe you do, home remodeling, getting more customers is going to be vital to you because chances are your previous customers may not need your services in the next few weeks again, right? Maybe they just want one room done. That's all they budgeted for. So you do need a constant stream of new customers that are curious about what it is that you offer for you to get a chance to connect with them, build a relationship, and create a sale. The second way to grow your business is to build higher ticket items. So this could be you charging more for what you do offer, or you adding on to what a customer can get when they come to you. A great example between the two of these, if you're opening a cafe, then your goal should be to sell not only the teas and coffees, but you may want to add on a pastry of some kind or a book or magazine. There's so many different things you could do in your cafe to have add-on sales, and that builds what they are spending. Or you may need to assess for what you want to accomplish with your goals. There isn't a way for you to add on items. Maybe you're service-based and you walk dogs. That is what you do. How else do you really add on to that? So you may need to charge more so that you can do more for your for advertising, or be able to hire someone so that you can spend more time with your family. So that's kind of the direction for higher sales. And then third, you need to grow your business by creating a higher frequency at which your existing customers come back to buy from you. So this is great for retailer and certain service, right? Dog walking is certainly a frequent thing. Grooming, health and wellness is fairly frequent, but something, and I'm going to go back to like construction or party planning, event planning, that may not be the same customer twice in the same year. So you need to figure, then that's where you would go back and try to get more customers, or, you know, either raise your prices or have those add-ons. So knowing that this is a fundamental law for ways to grow your business, how do we have marketing and advertising help you with that? So let's first understand the difference between sales and marketing. So sales is when you are focused on the immediate transaction of a customer that is right in front of you. Now, that may mean they are emailing you asking for a consultation or a connection for, you know, price inquiry. That is your chance to begin a sale. Sale could be they walk into your brick and mortar building. And the next module will really dig into really effective relationship building to drive results. I don't like to say sales. Sales gets kind of a bad rap, but we will get into that in the next module. This one is really about the marketing. So those other strategies that are in place to help you attract that additional new traffic. Remember, we talked about we need more customers, and then you can also increase the frequency at which your existing customers come back to you. And that's really what the purpose of advertising is. Marketing is understanding the whole big picture of it. Advertising is reaching your people. So we hear now digital marketing. This has been huge, honestly, for at least the past 10 years. And if you do not have a game plan for marketing yourself digitally, I would say you are missing out tremendously. So digital marketing refers to the use of digital platforms. Okay, so it's that simple. It's maybe using email, social media, a website, an app even. So it's any way that you can connect with your customers digitally, as opposed to printing something off in a newspaper or magazine or putting something on a billboard. It's doing things digitally, electronically, if you will. So the most popular types of digital marketing right now, again, this is 2024, so who knows how things could evolve over the next few years, and we certainly will continue to update this content. But the types of digital marketing that are on trend right now, you do have website marketing, and that doesn't need to be an actual website. You hear of these things called funnels. There are so many different ways that you have basically a landing page that you bring your customer to for them to buy from that page. Even social media sites have kind of a landing page where you can sell from that page directly. So some sort of website marketing. You also have social media marketing, and that's what it is. It's using those social media platforms. Email marketing is emailing to customers who agreed to sign up to get further information from you. Mobile marketing, if they agree to get text messaging from you. Video marketing, that's where you can create a video and then, of course, post it perhaps on social media or through a website, or have it on in an email for when they get your email, they can watch, more about you and kind of watch it almost live. Affiliate marketing. This is when somebody represents your brand and sells your product for a commission for you, and they do that almost all digitally. And then influencer marketing is kind of similar. They already have a huge following, and they will agree to post about your brand based on the message that you want. So we'll get into those deeper here. I really appreciate this quote. If you notice, we like to sprinkle these inspirational tidbits throughout our modules. Marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, right? It's not about putting things in your face, like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. That your customer will browse right past that. They're not going to linger on anything that you're posting like that. Marketing now is really about a story that you tell that your customer can connect to and want to be part of or identifies with. So as we dig even deeper, we already kind of discussed, right? Marketing is kind of all areas that work on understanding who your customer is and getting them into your building and what that strategy looked like, and then what the result was through sales. That's kind of marketing as a huge umbrella. A lot of times they will call marketing, oh, I'm going to post this, I'm going to market my business. That's really technically advertising. Advertising is those activities that you are putting out advertisements to ask your customers to come back to you or to come try you. And those are the ones that you can do through various media channels, right? We already talked about social media, online, print, things like that. So when you really see the three in relationship, just to recap quickly, marketing is kind of, you got to know your goals, because you can't really do anything else until you know what it is you want to achieve from your marketing strategy. You've got to know your audience. No point on publishing on TikTok if your customer isn't there. No point on posting on Facebook if your customer's not there and you already haven't built an audience, unless you do paid advertisements. And then marketing is really where your message comes out of. What do you want to portray to your customers? So those three kind of landmarks are really what falls under the marketing umbrella. And then as we funnel those in, we start talking about the advertising steps, because you know what your goal is, you know who your audience is, you've crafted your message. Now, to advertise effectively, you need to choose the right channels. We talk about knowing your audience. From knowing your audience, you can choose the right channel. You need to know a budget. There are a lot of things you can do for free and try to drum up organically, but the social media platforms have some really affordable advertising budgets where you can hone in on your demographic and your area code. If you're service-based or a brick and mortar, you don't want to advertise to someone in California when your business is in Georgia. And then creating engaging content. You need to make sure when you advertise that what you create speaks to your customer. And this is why you really have to know your brand message really well. And then the last part of advertising is implement it, but then monitor it. What type of response does it get? Do you see an uptick in inquiries, possible, people coming into your building or people requesting a consultation or what have you? And then as that's in place, you move into the sales bracket. And that's where you get people that have called you or come into your building and they want to know more. And that's where you take them from being what's called a lead and you actually close the deal. You formulate a sale. This is also where you can really evaluate and measure the results, because again, we discussed this before, you don't want to do anything really that's not going to generate income for you. So don't waste your time just posting on social media to post. Give people content, give them value, give them a reason to want to react, call to actions, things like that. So the sales will be a KPI, a metric that you can gauge the success of your advertising strategy from what your marketing vision was. And then once you find out what works, you repeat it, or if it doesn't work, you change it up and you try it again. And that is the thing with marketing and advertising, is it's going to have to evolve as what's trending evolves. All right, so I want to get through these 7 pretty simple steps to building a really great campaign. So here we go. Step 1 is to define your goals. You have to know what it is you're trying to communicate before you build a message. Like I said, you don't want to just post something to post something. It will probably not even show up in anybody's algorithm the way it works. You need to have a clear goal of what you want to communicate and ensure that it is something that can connect to your customers emotionally and help them feel like what you're posting fills a need within their routine or their life or something that's coming up for them. Okay. We talk a lot about your goals aligning with your own personal why. And that's really where, like I said, your customer is going to connect with you emotionally and what it is that you offer. I think, one of our first modules that we put together, we talked about one of the first modules that we did together, we addressed that you can't just open a business and say, well, I want to buy myself a yacht, so please buy these, shoes for me so that I can afford a yacht. Nobody's going to shop for you for that. But if you feel like you have found the most comfortable shoes that really help people feel good in when they wear them, then that's the need that you're filling. That's the why, right? You've created comfortable shoes that people can feel really good about themselves wearing because they're also fashionable and comfortable. Now, on the backside, you want to generate sales from this so that you can get your yacht, but your why is not that you want a yacht. Okay. So when setting your goals, and Leilani, really awesome. Thank you so much for really helping us with goal setting and budgeting and all of that. But same thing with your marketing strategy and advertising is you've got to acknowledge where you're at and what it is that you want to accomplish through spending money on advertising something. So that helps your message be really clear. It helps you realize how much do you want to spend on it. And it helps you hopefully get really clear about who you're reaching so that your efforts turn into success for you. So step 2 is to know your audience. I addressed before in the branding piece, you don't want to just throw darts and hope that you put out enough generic marketing that anybody would like it and want to come support your business, because it's just going to get lost in the mix. I promise you. And as you start a new business, I understand the stress that you're feeling and just wanting to make sure you make money and you drive sales, because you put a huge risk on this. Maybe you emptied your 401k, maybe you took everything out of savings, maybe you stepped away from a really good job and you didn't want to, but you burned some bridges on your way out. So this has to work, right? Trust me, go after your target audience. Go after a customer that is going to resonate with your why and your brand story and who you are as well, because it'll just help them be more loyal. They're going to reach out to other people like them that are willing to support your business versus this constant friction of somebody not getting you, somebody not feeling like what it is that you offer isn't good enough or the fair price just because they're not your customer. So it's really important, we did this in the branding one, to go back and look at what it is that you offer and who you offer it to. You really got to align on that. Do not be afraid to have a very specific niche for your business. It's okay. So once you have that, you can move on to step 3, and that is crafting your message. And this message will change based on what it is you're trying to accomplish. For example, over the summer, you may want to craft some sort of message about enjoying the summer and summer break. The kids are out of school, so come here, do this within your home or do this as a family because the kids are out of school and family time is important. Or maybe it's the holidays and it's about gift giving, giving gifts that mean something. Maybe your business, has something set up where you give back to your community or give to a certain charity. So come, and any proceeds from this purchase goes to this particular shelter. So you want to just create a really meaningful message that aligns with what your audience would connect to and what your brand values are. So some questions to help you with what is your message, are you introducing a new product or service? Well, hey, look at what's new. Look at what I have. Look at what I can offer you. And that can drum up a lot of excitement. Are you offering a sale or discount right now? Maybe you need to move through inventory, or maybe it's just naturally a slower season for what it is, the service that you offer, right? I have friends that are successful, in construction and home remodel, and certain times a year, people just don't put their money into that. So then they can run discounts that time of year so that if somebody is willing to do it and disrupt their house during the Christmas season or holiday season, that they save a little bit of money. So are you offering a sale or discount? Is there a holiday customer tradition in your community or amongst your customers that you want to honor and have that be part of why they come shop from you or buy from you? Maybe you have holiday specific foods or items, or it's just is about gift giving. So, or are you doing a collaboration or partnership? That's so powerful, because what you can do is make a advertising message that embraces your business and 2 or 3 other businesses, and then when you send that out to all of your customers, so that all of you benefit from this, your reach just got so much deeper. So that's think about how you can collaborate and do partnerships when it comes to marketing. Um, Step 4 is going to be choosing the right channels. And you really can't do that until you understand who your customer is and where they're at. So this is, again, per trend for 2024. This could evolve. I know we're seeing Snapchat bounce back in a huge way right now, but a lot of texts that I've read, these are the 3 main social media platforms for advertising within your business and reaching your community. And you can kind of see in here where I've put the estimated age ranges of who is there and really who they are. Okay, step 5 would be to determine a budget. Leilani's probably cheering right now because this is so important. You don't want to just throw darts and do things. You need to have a plan for it so that you continue to control your business and your business doesn't control you. So determine a budget of what you can afford to spend on your marketing for this particular campaign. And there are so many different things that go into deciding that budget. Don't forget, if you are not going to be designing your own posts, then you need to include in the budget outsourcing for someone to design and write that copy for you. Are you going to schedule them yourself, or are you going to have whoever designs them also post them for you? That's a separate charge, or it could be. This is where you can work on your art skills of negotiation and see if, okay, for this price, will you do this many creating and scheduling posts for me? So, and like I said, there's a lot of different platforms for where to find people who will gladly do this. There's so many students who are wanting to launch a career in social media and advertising who would love to help with this, for small businesses. So think about how can you collaborate and help each other out. Another thing to consider in the advertising budget, are you using an influencer or affiliate marketer? Because then you need to save a portion of whatever sales are generated based on their post, for them. Sometimes influencers, it's something you pay. I've done it monthly or quarterly, and they are just expected to do X amount of posts per week for me. And then affiliates, it's usually based on sales. It's usually almost always commission based on sales for affiliates, but you need to have that kind of contracted, and you need to budget for it so that you make sure you save your anticipated sales as payback for them. And then the question of, should you boost a post that you have? Maybe you've done really well with organic marketing and you just have a really great following already. And, all you got to do is post something and you get a good bunch of your locals to come in, but you might get even more if you boost your post. And, Facebook advertises these all the time. $5 to boost your post, $12 to boost your post. You're like, oh, that's nothing. Let me just $5. But when you watch it at the end of the year, if you didn't budget for the hundreds that you could end up just dropping little $5 and $12 boosts, that can really throw your budget into chaos. So make sure you plan for what you're going to do with advertising. Okay, step 6, making that creative and engaging content. This is so important. And it's honestly something that is constantly evolving, because what is considered engaging today is not what we had to do even just 5 years ago. It constantly is evolving. And this is one of those areas that I challenged you in the very first module that launched this boot camp, that you have to constantly be studying to be relevant within your field. Well, your field is business owner now. Your field is not just hair care or dog grooming. That is not your field anymore. Your field is being the owner of a business. So you may need to constantly be studying social media and seeing, okay, what are they doing that gets the results that I want? Or is it time to outsource that? But you need creative content. And it really is important that you understand what it is that you're trying to communicate. So, do we want to do a reel or a talking video? This is a still frame here, but you can see my friend up there. She's mid-sentence, but she's talking about her business. Or do you want to just post that there is some sort of promo that you're offering? Or did you create a new dish that you're excited to have your customers come in and try if you have a cafe or restaurant? Or did you get a new collection in, or you're showing people how the makeup that you sell can be part of a capsule in concept. So there really is different ways that you can post for your business. You just need to decide what's really going to resonate with your customer and your message. Okay, so we dug in a little bit with influencer and affiliate marketing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this here. If it's something you're curious about, there are so many online forums that will connect you to various influencers, even just hashtagging your area. If you live in a certain, city or community, just using a hashtag search for that, you will see individual influencers. They are out there. They want to make money. But my advice to you is just make sure that your influencers demographic and style matches your brand and your customer. For example, there are influencers who are, 15, 16, 17 years old, and they're posting about what's trending in fashion. But if you're a, dog walking company for senior pets, that individual may not be the best, because chances are someone who's 16 or 17 may not even have a senior pet that's in their direct care. Maybe their mom or dad does, right? So you just want to make sure whomever their audience is and what they're saying is also going to help find your customer. Okay, so this screen makes me laugh. Why your posts should appeal to your core customer. All right, this is kind of a little game really quick. Let's say your core customer is a female that is a mother, and she is in the age demographic of 30 to 50 years old. And the business that you have is women's casual clothing and jewelry. Which of these two photos do you think is going to connect to a woman who is in her 30s to 50s, 30 to 50 years old that's a mother? Do you think it will be the one with the mom and the child, or the two girls posing together who probably could be her kids, right? And then look at the message underneath that, including the font and what it says. Do you think a woman who's 40 some years old is going to be drawn to a tagline that says comfortable fashions for enjoying everyday moments? Or is she going to be drawn to a tagline that says comfy stuff that is totally on trend? So you want to make sure that the imagery that you use, the lingo that you use really connects to your customer. Now, if you personally, your business, who you are is your best customer, then you really just have to, post what speaks to yourself. But some of you have opened businesses and are launching businesses that are not quite who you are. So this is going to feel a little uncomfortable, right? Maybe you are 20 years old and you've launched a business and you just feel, based on research, that you just really love styling your mom and your aunts and even your grandma, and you want to create a boutique that they can look really good and not look old and frumpy. So in being 21 years old and doing that, first of all, kudos to you for finding an area in the market that needs help. But you're not going to want to advertise to your friends that are 21 years old. You need to make sure your advertisements speak to the women you're catering to. Okay. Here's another example. Bella's Boutique sells organic body care, just so you know. I think we took you through this in our pre-qualification workshop. So which one of these speaks to you? Which one of these would make you want to go into Bella's Boutique and stock up on her newest delivery, right? Is it the one over here that says, Bella's Boutique, we just got in new stuff that's organic? Okay. Or are you more inspired? Does it paint a picture with when Bella's Boutique says, come see our new collection of organic feel-good products for your hair and body? Well, and that really helps narrow it down too. If I need new shampoo, I'm like, oh my gosh, I needed shampoo anyways. Perfect. So do you really see how honing in on a niche can really help? And then it gives you your color palette. It gives you your fonts. So I hope this understands why it's so important, not only to have your brand message, but then your advertising message too. All right, step 7, implementing and monitoring. This is really important. I see a lot of struggling businesses that are literally just throwing content out there and they're not interacting with it or changing it up if it doesn't work. It's so important that you implement and monitor what is happening with your efforts. You want to track your results. And the great news is on social media, they will track it for you. They'll tell you if your watch and engagement is up or down. They'll tell you which one's got the most interactions and if you should go back and boost that one. So it really does a lot of the work for you. You also can gauge it based on if your sales increased in general. Maybe you have a code that you put in and says, if you shop this weekend and put in the code puppies 23, I don't know, right? Your dog walking business, put in puppies 23 for an extra 10% off, and you see X amount of appointments booked with that code puppies 23, then you know that worked to bring you X amount of money. So whatever you did with the font in that, whatever you did with boosting it, and whatever reaches that you went after with it, it worked. Do it again. Do it again. And then you could also track if you just get more visits to your website as well, based on things that you post. So one of the most important things to remember with marketing is that it takes time to get it up and going. So while I do say you need to pivot quickly and change things up if it's not working, you really do need a little bit of time to see it if your efforts work. So if your call to action is to come in that weekend, and then that weekend nothing happened, then the next week you would need to change it up. But if your call to action is just to come into your building in general, that could take time, right? If you're just letting people know that you're new in the community and you are there, then they'll get in when they feel like getting in, or maybe when there's an event that happens in your historic township where your brick and mortar is. So you got to give it time. And then you have got to maintain brand integrity. You don't want to deviate from what your customers identify as who you are. They see your logo, they see your coloring, they see your font. The more they see that in social media posts, the more they see that in your packaging, walking, and they go to somebody's house and something from your brand is there, like that's advertising for you. So stay consistent to it. Don't get crazy and change it up. And if you change it up across all formats. Change your logo, change your coloring, change it on the website, change it on your social media. So just make sure it's very consistent. And then make sure that you are marketing to your customer. You got to go after who your core customer is and make sure that your message and the imagery resonates with him or her. And like I said, just don't give up. I've seen so many businesses fail, not only from lack of capital, but unsuccessful marketing campaigns. So you got to keep at it. You got to pivot. A lot of people outsource, but even when you outsource, you have to assess if it's working still. And if not, you need to give direction to who you're outsourcing it to for how to change it. They will just do what you ask them to do. They are not going to dig as deep as you will, because this is your baby. This is your business. So the most important thing to remember when it comes to marketing is that the aim of marketing is to know and understand your customer so well that the product or service that you offer fits them and sells itself. So that you do that through storytelling, you do that through connecting with sincerity to your customer, and you do that through filling a need in your customer's life or routine. So one of the things that's really important to remember is that running a business, it's really expensive. But your most powerful tool to continuing to grow your business is how you treat your customer once they come into the door to see you or call you or request a consultation. How you interact with your customer is really what makes all those marketing efforts and investments pay off. Once they say, yes, I'm interested, you have got to welcome them in and treat them so good so that they can begin a brand loyalty to you. So here is where it gets fun. I know I showed this on the branding slide. AI for business growth. So what tools can we use to do some marketing and advertising? So what I'm going to do is I want to actually create a post. So I have here my Instagram post that I use, and I've kind of pre-made one, and it should be, so it's right. I know it's taking a second to load. That's embarrassing. But I post for Books and Booze, our podcast, weekly. I have several different posts. So I created a template that I liked, and I can change the picture out or change up who is the distiller or what have you. And I try to change the pictures up too, so it's not just repetition in my feed. So I took time to, pre-make this, and Canva has places where you can create social media posts already. So like, here's an Instagram post, here's a square. So if I were to pick that one, it's going to give me blank, and then I can go through different slides. Sorry, Canva's going so slow right now. So you can see all these different looks, and you could even give them the style. Maybe you want something that's coming up for spring. You want to advertise for spring. So you want something to feel, super green and happy. So you could do something, and then you're not going to do a gardening class, but you are going to do, you have flowers that you're going to add to every, custom order or something like that. So you see how Canva can really design that for you. But here I need to actually post. So I want to show you how I use kind of my own camera. So I took a picture on my phone and I sent it to my computer, and now I need to upload it. I forget how I saved the photo that I just sent. Oh my goodness, that's kind of embarrassing. That's not it. There it is. Okay, what did I call it? Oh, generic image. Okay, let's try this again. Upload file. See, I know what I'm doing with this, but anybody can do it. I promise you. All right, in my downloads here, it's this photo here. So I'm going to bring that into my Canva uploads here. And then because I have this picture that I can change out once it's uploaded, where are you? There we go. And I can decide if I want to move it around a little more or not, shrink it or enlarge it or what have you. But yeah, there's my Siesta Key spiced rum that we are enjoying this month in Books and Booze, because it already talks about Drum Circle Distilling out of Siesta Key, Florida. That's good. I don't need to change that up. It reminds my customers, about our podcast release every Saturday at 5 p.m. So other than that, it's good. And I just wanted this to be simple. So now what I can do is I can go into my ChatGPT, and I actually have ChatGPT help me write it, what I think is more engaging content, if you will, around my social media. So I can tell ChatGPT to create a promotional Instagram post for the Books and Booze podcast to remind our followers that a new podcast airs every Saturday at 5 p.m. and that this month we are enjoying the delicious Siesta Key spiced rum. Include hashtags for Sage Consultants, Siesta Key spiced rum, and Drum Circle Distilling. Okay, now watch and see what happens here. So ChatGPT is taking what I've asked it, and some people will say you don't need your prompts to be that in depth, but I feel like sometimes ChatGPT doesn't get exactly what I want, so I've just learned to be more specific about what I want, and then ChatGPT comes up with really great wording. So here we are. Don't miss out on the latest episode of Books and Booze podcast. Join us every Saturday at 5 p.m. as we dive into captivating books while savoring the delightful flavors of Siesta Key spiced rum from Drum Circle Distilling. And then there are some of those great hashtags. So perfect. I like this as it is, let's say. Control C. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, copy that. I'm going to go into my Meta. Now here, this is where I can schedule my Instagram and Facebook together all at the same time. And I'm going to show you how I do that. And honestly, what I usually do is I take one day every month that I pre-plan all of my social media for the whole month, and I am able to schedule everything. But I don't know why she's taking so long to load, but here we go. Okay, so then let's go home here and let's create a post. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to download this to my computer. Should have already done that. Sorry, I get excited and a little nervous when I do these. So now she's downloaded. In Meta, I can now add a photo. And there are ways from Canva to post directly, but there's a few other things that I just want you to be able to show how you can mass create things and then upload. So I'm going to upload, and it's the most recent Books and Booze Instagram post. There we go. And because I copied from ChatGPT what I wanted, I can just hit Control V there. Join us every Saturday at 5 p.m. as we dive into books and booze. Wow. Every Saturday, captivating books. I'm going to end the sentence there. And then I'm going to say, this month we, perfect. This month we are savoring the delightful flavors Siesta Key Spice Rum from Drum Circle Distilling. Perfect. There we go. Now, I could hit publish and it'll show up on my feed right away. But I want to show you how you could schedule this, because like I told you, so I take one day a month, and it ends up being a long day. But what started out being 2 days a long time ago when I started doing this is now truly just about a 6 or 7 hour day. I just have to know what content I want to put together, and then I leverage Canva and ChatGPT to really help me through sounding better, I guess. So I'm going to go to schedule. And I want this to schedule on Friday. And I like it to schedule at 11 a.m. because that's when a lot of my viewers respond to my posts. And Fridays are my calendar day for Books and Booze Spirits. I do Saturdays for the book itself, Fridays for the spirit itself. So now it is scheduled to go to both Facebook and Instagram. It's just going to be a grid post. It's not going to be a video or anything like that. You can upload videos here. And Meta works on your phone too, which I really like. So if I record a video, but I want it to go both places, but I need to do a little editing, it's really nice because I can do that in here. And then I hit schedule. And then it will schedule it, and it will show me on my planner where it's going. See, here comes my planner. And you can see I already have a 9 a.m. reel that's going to post and video, but there it'll come at 11 a.m. for Books and Booze for the spirit. Okay. So let's see how that comes together. Love that. Okay. So let's wrap up today. We kind of saw, and a lot of these other social media platforms will allow you to do something very similar. I just am familiar with Canva. I have a good friend who's using Vistaprint. I've played with Brand Crowd too, and I really like some of what they offer. Wix has been around for a while, and it is very reputable. Luca's newer on the market, but getting a lot of traction. So yeah. All right. So let's recap today. This was fun. Branding and marketing is so much fun. So I hope you understand truly the umbrella of marketing now, and that you just can't consider sales and marketing one quick thing, that it's really important to take your brand story, have a marketing plan, have an advertising agenda and a budget to help drive sales, right? What is that agenda for marketing and those steps that you need to take for a really smart advertising campaign? And then we just played with AI tools. And you can see Sage Consultants does not sell you doing your logos or your social media for you, but we want to show you realistically that an everyday person really can take those tools and use them and create. So I did that myself. It didn't cost me any money. I mean, the money I'm putting into is to have Canva Pro. That way I have more fonts, more colors, more photos as an option. But I did that myself. So that saved me money on content creation and posting. So this week, your homework is to really engage and introspect on your current branding and marketing initiatives, right? Like, what can you do to really help those strategies? What messages do you want to convey? And really start thinking about it. And in the end, you may end up using this form either weekly or monthly to help you think through various agendas that you want to accomplish. Please go ahead. This tool is yours to use. So friends, this was really awesome. Love that you were part of this module with us. Don't forget about our monthly Q&A forum. It is such a great platform that you can send us your questions, ideas, concerns. Other people have those. There's so many times we have to edit and like 6 people asked that this week. This is great. So we pull together your questions and ideas and concerns, and we try to address them all in that forum to try to help as many of you as possible. So please submit us any content that you would like us to review. Don't forget, we are available for further one-on-one support. But if this doesn't feel like something you really want to dig into, you may want to look at outsourcing your marketing and branding strategies. And that's okay. Frees you up to spend time with your customer and other things. So have an amazing week. Thank you for joining us for this one, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, guys.